Welcome to the Animus. Serial killer. Creating session. Synchronizing agents. You have taken the lead. Simulation complete. Manhunt.
And welcome back. This is Hall Note 606 here, bringing you some Assassin's Creed 3 multiplayer action. And as you can see, playing some Manhunt. Full lobby, 8 people, 4 on 4. My team is playing as the Pioneer, as you can see right here. And the other team is playing as the Night Stalker. Now if you've never seen Manhunt, you haven't played Assassin's Creed multiplayer before, or even if you have, Manhunt is basically 2 rounds. Each round 5 minutes each, so 10 minutes in total for the entire match. And you take it in turns. So in this round, as you can see, I am on the offensive, so I am the pursuer, and I'm going after my targets, which is the other team, playing as the Night Stalkers, and the other team's on the defensive, so they're going to try and get as many stuns as they can and blend in whenever they can. And then after the 5 minutes, we'll swap. And I'll be on the defensive, trying to blend in with my teammates and trying to get as many stuns as I can without being killed. But that's pretty much the basics of Manhunt, really. So I've been playing quite a bit of Assassin's Creed 3 multiplayer since it came out. I've played some Manhunt, as you can see here. This is probably my 3rd Manhunt match I've played so far, and I've been enjoying it so far. I played some Domination, enjoyed that mode. I played some Wanted, some Deathmatch. Kind of disappointed to not see any Escort or Chest Capture, because I also did like those modes. But maybe somewhere down the line we get some DLC involving those game modes, maybe, hopefully. So I did enjoy those. So a number of things have been added to Assassin's Creed 3 multiplayer. For example, as you can see in the bottom left, we now have 3 abilities rather than just 2. So as always, your shoulder buttons will be your traditional 2 abilities, while we have a 3rd ability which is limited to ranged abilities such as throwing knives, poison dart, which is a new ability that we have in this game, and also disruption, which I've seen it. I haven't used it for myself, but I've seen it and it didn't look too effective or impressive, but time will tell. Maybe once I use it I might change my mind, but it just didn't look as useful to me at all. But maybe after seeing other people use it, maybe I'll change my mind or have to use it for myself. But yeah, having a third one limited to ranged abilities works out great, because in past games you always wanted that. At times you always wanted that throwing knife to have when someone climbed up on the roof and they were hanging off the edge or something like that, and you just wanted to use a throwing knife, but you couldn't, because the only way you could do it was to switch profile sets, and you could only do that if you got killed, or if you were playing Manhunt and you're on the offensive, you would have to wait to be stunned and hit the Y button to switch profile sets. But you don't have to do that in this game, because you have that. You have that ranged abilities for those moments where there's that person that's running away and you can't keep up with them, or that person that's hanging off the rooftops and you want to get down without having to climb up. You can get them down now, so it works out pretty well having 3 abilities. Of course, each of the abilities are on cooldown, so once you've used them up, however long their cooldown times are, you would have to wait before they become active again. I believe some cooldown times have increased. I think the smoke bomb cooldown time has increased as well, but I don't know if it makes that much of a difference. I still have seen people use that annoying smoke bomb and poison combo. I had it a few times during deathmatch, and someone used it about 4 or 5 times during deathmatch, and it was kind of annoying. To see someone get such a high score for very minimal effort, but part of the game. These abilities are here to be used, and if that's how people choose to use them, there's not much you can do about it. But sticking with abilities, it's kind of disappointed that charge didn't make it. I don't think charge is included in this game at all. It was kind of disappointing because I got used to using charge in the Revelations, and only to find that it's not in Assassin's Creed 3 multiplayer. So it's kind of disappointing, so I'm going to have to find another ability to get used to. But I do have Disguise and Morph, which make their return, and they are pretty much the same as they've always been. Very good for those that like to, for things like Deathmatch, good for Manhunt as well. I remember using these two abilities pretty much in Brotherhood. I used to use these quite a lot before moving on to something like Smoke Bomb and Mute, which pretty much got abused in Revelations, I think. And then I myself, I thought that, I was sick of seeing Mute and Smoke Bomb, so I thought I'd try using something else that I don't really use. And I kind of went with Disguise and Charge in Decoy and Disguise. Either of those combination of abilities I went with in Revelations after a while. But yeah, Charge isn't here, so kind of disappointed at that. But we do have a bunch of new abilities. I've already mentioned the Poison Dart, I've already mentioned Disruption. There's another ability called Wipe. Now we don't have Mute, but we have this ability called Wipe, which pretty much it doesn't entirely stop you. It only stops you from using your abilities, but it doesn't stop you from killing or stunning anyone. And it's quite funny because I've had a number of matches where people have used Wipe as if it was Mute. There was one moment where someone was in a hay bale, they used Wipe and they jumped out at me and tried to stun me, not realizing that Wipe doesn't work that way. It only stops you from using your abilities, and they ended up suffering for it, and they got a contested kill out of it, so they got some points from it. But yeah, I guess for some people there is still that learning curve. So here, as you can see, throwing knives comes in useful. That little knife trick still comes in handy. Throwing knives at someone does shorten the kill range slightly, just enough for you to sneak in and get a kill or a stun, whichever. So other cool things, you do have these little environmental kills or environmental stuns, which you will see right here. This guy's on the roof. I got my Disguise on, and there was a duplicate of my Pioneer character already in this blend group, so it's pretty much safe bet that person was just going to go for the wrong person. So I got a lure bonus and I got a stun out of it as well, and I'm just going to leg it all the way out of here. As you can see, trying to find a good spot where I can see everything, and I think this is a good spot for me. So where else were we? The new levels. I'm loving the new levels. I like them. I love this particular level. I can't remember the name of it. I will eventually learn the names of all the levels as well as the characters and stuff. But one thing I do love about some of these levels is the environmental, the weather changes. So on some levels, this 1 minute is sunny and then all of a sudden it starts pouring with rain. Or in one level, a storm, pretty much a snowstorm or blizzard comes out, and it really does. It's a nice change. It doesn't really change much, but having these dynamic weather changes during a 10-minute game, it's pretty nice. It changes things up a little. Like the blizzard storm does actually make it kind of a little bit harder to see, but doesn't impair your vision that much. But it's a nice thing here. But I mess up here because I threw the throwing knives, it went to the wrong person, and I kind of messed up that whole thing there. When I saw the one person, I thought I could get them, but then there turned out to be 3 of them, and it just kind of went wrong. And here kind of goes wrong as well. I was hiding in this blend group and pretty much waiting for the whispers, where I flip on my Disguise and it pretty much did not work out at all. I just saw the other team member running there, run into my teammate's tripwire bomb, and I saw this guy and I was hoping to get at least one stun, but this guy just came out of nowhere. But I did watch back the video, and I did rotate the camera at one point, and that guy was actually behind me, and that would have been the point where I started hearing the whispers, and I flipped on my disguise, and he was just there walking behind me, and I just didn't notice whatsoever. But I'm back, and I'm blending in with this group here. I'm not sure where my rest of my teammates are. I think someone's in the hay bale, and this guy just comes charging in straight for the hay bale. Someone has used white, I'm not sure who that was, but this guy, I'm not sure what this guy was thinking, but I managed to get a nice easy stun in him. But so as you can see, my team is doing actually pretty well. Not so much for the other team, but I just suffered another kill there. A nice little touch, you can actually push the back button and see the individual points break down for the person that killed you, which I think is a nice little touch. So for those moments where you see someone get a ridiculous score and you're thinking to yourself, how did you get that score? Especially those times where someone's running at you and they kill you and yet they still get a high score, because usually when you're running at someone, your detection meter goes down to like reckless or discreet, but somehow some people still manage to pull off an impressive score. You can now push the back button and it will pop up. But that's the end. I died at the finish, but my team won. And I love this new presentation thing that they have here, both at the beginning of the matchup and at the end here. And I love the way they do the accolades. Like you can see right here, this guy spent most of his time on the roof, or spent the most time on the roof. It's a nice presentational thing. I've got one accolade in this top accolades, most kills without being stunned, basically. So you get your usual credits, rewards, all that stuff. So once again, if you enjoyed this matchup, like the video. If you enjoy the video, like it, subscribe to my channel. I hope to upload more videos to my channel. Definitely going to be playing a lot more Assassin's Creed 3 multiplayer, just like I played Revelations and Brotherhood. So once again, thanks for watching. Leave a comment, subscribe, do all that stuff, and see you next time.